Hey, what's up, everybody? I hope all is well. Man, it's me back again with That Square Podcast. So, check me out, guys. Hey, right now we're doing the New Orleans Saints. This is no trade, by the way. First and foremost, man, I think the Saints are probably one of the most talented teams in the NFC South. Very surprised they did not win the division last year. In a lot of ways, I think Dennis Allen's got a lot of potential players around him on that roster that are really, really good. And I think that, the whole Kamara situation, just a lot of just weird events that happened for New Orleans this year. Also, too, on top of that, just want to add, I got some breaking news. I don't know what that was. I had to check that. I just looked away for a second. But I also have to add that, obviously their biggest need to me is going to be offensive line and, of course, defensive line for sure. That's just me. I think also they're going to need receivers as well. I know that, Olave is doing a great job down there, but he's going to need somebody to help him out. So, I guess enough of the talking. Let's just dive right in and see what I think. First things first, at 14, Latu. Cam Jordan's getting older. The older he gets, the more I realize that they're going to need to replace him. And why not have his replacement already there or on the other side of him? Go ahead, let him do his thing, mix him up like good Kool-Aid. Latu is a pretty good player. Had a pretty strong combine. I think they gave him a 6-point grade on NFL.com. Projected probably to go mid first round. So that's that 14, that 15 to 25. So I take him a little bit higher. I don't have a problem with this. I like Latu going there. He just fits. He does, man. He's really good. He plays well when other D linemen are on the other side, especially in his UCLA games with Gabriel Murphy on the other side and the Twins. And then him just doing one thing, wreaking havoc. So I think that'll be really good for him. Next up, he's a bit of an experiment player, but he's just super huge. Pause. He's just a tall guy, just 6'7", long arms. Combine he checked out, man. Just everything that they said about him at the U of A, University of Houston, is so true at U of H. So Patrick Paul at 45, why not? Your second round pick. Obviously, you could put him at tackle, which is what I would put him. A lot of people are suggesting guard. I think his hands are too big. He'll probably get you caught holding a lot. But yeah, man, this guy right here, Great Wall of China, put him on the left side, put him on the right side, doesn't matter. He's protecting Derek Carr, James Winston, whoever the quarterback is, Taysom Hill, he's going to protect them. So that's what he's going to do right then and there. I don't mind Patrick Paul, that pick right there. I really do. Bit of an experiment, but I'd rather have him for the depth at offensive line. Then we go back to the defensive line again in the later round. By the way, you guys really don't have any picks after that. They're all in the 4th and 5th round, man. So this is when you got to really, really go deep in the depth here. Especially you got to really understand the draft, which I think you'll still find some good value, which I did. And I don't think that after this combine, I don't think Dwayne Carter's going to be in this spot at 149. Maybe 120, 130. range, but 149, you're really pushing it if you're thinking that. But Dwayne Carter, he was on the board on my mock. Why not snag him right there? D-line, good pressure, helps out, youth at the size. He's a good 300 pounds, could play all downs pretty much. If you really want to get a good look at him, watch him against Notre Dame. He gets a few flashes with Joe Alt. It's crazy even how that mix happened because Joe Alt is literally still on the left side of the field. But every once in a while, he's got to protect inside, kick in, to help with the run blocking and stuff. So they kind of meeting. It's about a 50-50 battle. But for him to go against somebody in that caliber that's going to be drafted really high in this draft and kind of hold his own, I like that a lot. So that's one game I want you to look at. And also look at the Clemson game, too, as well for Dwayne Carter. But good defensive lineman. Then again, Ainias Smith, the strongest receiver in this draft due to the combine. But he is a sneaky player. When I say this, at receiver, the Saints have a lot of weapons. But I feel like Michael Thomas is aged out. He's pretty much done, and he's going to hit free agency pretty hard because I don't think that New Orleans is keeping him. That's just me, respectfully. I understand. He hasn't been healthy since 2019, but you got to start looking for a replacement. Now, I know that Ainias Smith is extremely smaller than Michael Thomas by a landslide. He's like 5'9", maybe 5'10" at best with cleats on. So he's a shorter receiver, but with Snead And then you've got A.T. Perry, who's got the size. And then you've got Olave, who's pretty much just a great receiver all around. Adding Aniyah Smith is like that extra spark to your offense that you might need. Truthfully, a gadget guy, that's what I see him as. His comp is more like a Tyler Lockett type kind of dude. Every once in a while, he'll beat you deep. Every once in a while, he'll take a punt back. He'll set you up in good field position. That's just how he is. I think a lot of people won't bite on him because of his injuries at A&M, but spoken for me from a true perspective on this, I actually like Aniyah Smith. I wouldn't prefer drafting him around this time, just as a weapons guy on offense, just to see what you could do. Dennis Allen's an offensive guy. Let's just see what he does, right? True Smith-Wade out of Washington State. Replenish that cornerback that secondary for y'all. Why not get some depth there? He's really good. I like him more as a press man type corner. Not really a coverage kind of guy. He needs to be moving. He needs to be doing something. If you watch him, look at him in the Washington game versus the Washington State game. Dude, they're just going boom, 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 boom. Also in the Oregon game. A lot of people did not check this out. In the Oregon game, he's gotten Bo Nix a few times. So that's something that I want you to look at too as well with him, Mr. Smith-Wade. Now, linebackers. Jalen Ford out of the University of Texas. He's really good. He had a good 40 time as well. He has no neck, so obviously that means he's really strong. That was a joke. It wasn't funny. Okay. All right. So pretty much with him, man, he's really all around a good defensive linebacker. He can actually go off the edge too a few times. He's done it. Really good at reading the gaps, finding it. Kind of a guy that you kind of want to have on the Saints just to spruce up that defense even more and more. Then we go back to offensive line. Brandon Coleman, interior, TCU. More of a pass protection guy, I'm not going to lie. Running, not really his strong suit. Played a little bit of center. Not so much this year, but more last year. I like him as a guard, preferably on the right side. That's just me. Safer that way. That's just how it is. But, yeah, I like Brandon Coleman here for you guys at 192, I should say. Cody Schrader at running back. Kamara is up there in age. And you guys had a guy last year named Jones something. He was a freak, man. He was good, bro. And then y'all traded him, obviously, somewhere to, I think, Arizona in the middle of the season. You guys are going to start needing that second back for Kamara because he's getting older. So, yeah, let's just start looking for a running back. And I know you're like, oh, it's the 7th round, da, 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 da. Well, cool thing about Cody Schrader is that he doesn't have a lot of hits on him. And I know a lot of people are saying in the market for running backs, you're kind of looking at them and they kind of just are a depleting asset every single second. They're even talking about drafting running backs in the 3rd round and up now. So, and then just if you've watched free agency the past few days, Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, all these guys are going to hit free agency. And, yeah, so it's kind of like an undervalued position. So I guess you got to get them in the draft while they're hot. That's just the way it is. So why not? And then, of course, cap it all off, Trevor Keegan out of Michigan, who I think had a great combine. This guy, it's not bad. He's really not bad at all. He can do all three. He's a triangle player is what I like to call him. Left guard, center, right guard. He can play all three. Determined, very smart. Can get down and really play good. If you want to see some really good tape and some good blocking 101, Alabama game. Washington game, yeah, of course, obviously the 2 breakoff runs were on his side. So, yeah, but the Alabama game is the more gritty one I like people to see. That one is the more realistically, like that's what it's more like when you see him doing the X's and O's. And with that being said, guys, hey, I'm going to wrap it up here. As always, like, comment, of course, subscribe. If you don't like what you saw, please comment. I will comment back. That's what I do for a living. Well, I have a job, but I don't mind commenting back. Yo, peace.